It's 2054 on the frozen hellscape of Niflheim, and Mickey Barnes snaps awake in a snowpacked ditch, teeth chattering like castanets. He looks down, his comms and thermal suit lie in pieces around him. He squints through the swirling ice fog and, thank God, a rescue ship drifts nearer. "Hey!" he screams, stomping to stay warm. "Over here!" Timo steps out onto the snow ramp, all set to help. But in a moment that still gives Mickey chills, Timo freezes, eyes flicking to the flamethrower slung over his shoulder. "Sorry, man," he says. "I'll take the flamethrower. But not you. They'll just print you again if you bite it." And with that shrug, he turns and stomps back on board. Mickey's breath hitches as he hears faint skitters beyond the drifts. Shadows twist into shapes, and he realizes with a cold dread sinking in, he's on his own, and he's about to die. The very next day, Mickey's voice croaks over the comm link, if it even still worked, spilling the whole crazy backstory. Every time he keels over, they print a fresh body around him and upload his mind into the little chip they call the brick. "Trust me," he growls, "this tech breaks every law on Earth, so they hide it out here where nobody can sue." They built expendables like him for the gnarly missions, radiation storms, cosmic suicide runs. You name it, he's literally their human guinea pig. Strap him to the hull, blast him with rays that'd fried a tank, then when he drops, boot up a brand new Mickey. Wild, right? He then remembers signing up in the first place. His buddy, the delinquent borrower, convinced him to pour borrowed cash into a crumbling startup. They got busted, hauled before the merciless tycoon Darius Blank, who sneered and offered a devil's bargain, ice planet colonist gig or jail time. Mickey hit accept, not even knowing expendable meant. Next thing he knows, a technician lays out the grim details, body printing, memory transfers, the brick, and casually scoops a DNA sample. That's when he realized he'd sold his last life, and basically every life after that. Fast forward to the ship's packed mess hall. Everyone's shoveling slop when Kenneth Marshall barks his intro, booming over the clatter. Mickey spots Nasha, flashes her a grin, and they exchange that "we're in this together" look. Marshall clears his throat and drops the rules. "From now on, we ration every scrap of food until we hit the ice planet." He pauses, glances around, then lowers his voice, "and no hanky-panky until touchdown." Naturally, Mickey and Nasha roll their eyes and slip into secret smiles. Rules are made to be broken, right? Over the next few weeks, Mickey dies, again and again. Versions 13, 14, 15, and 16 endure brutal test runs. Locked in sealed pods, blasted with the new airborne virus they sniffed out in the planet's icy tempest. Scientists in white coats scurry around, scribbling notes as each Mickey coughs and crumples. After countless fails, and, okay, a tower of bodies, they finally nailed a vaccine. Then comes the trench. The team scrambles into the yawning darkness, flashlights cutting swaths through the gloom, and chaos explodes. "Run!" someone shouts as pale, slithering creatures flicker in the corner of your eye. One colonist goes down, and the rest hightail it back to the ship in a sheer panic. Marshall slams a data pad onto the table and bellows at Mickey, "You should have been the one to die." As punishment, he forces young Mickey into 14-hour shifts, slashes his rations in half, and orders him to drag back a live specimen of those trench monsters. One night, Mickey's slurping his slop when his boots slip. He plunges back into the trench, but, to his total shock, those same aliens reappear, reach out, and help him climb to safety. Then, as mysteriously as they came, they vanish into the ice. Shaking like a leaf, Mickey spots a rusted rover and clambers in. He peels off his torn jumpsuit, collapses onto his bunk, only to see a fresh body twitching on the mattress. "Oh hell," he mutters. Protocol forbids two of you at once, and before he can yell, Matthew swings a dumbbell into his jaw and everything blacks out. Meanwhile, back on Earth, a news reporter corners the R&D head of the brick printing rig. "What about rogue copies?" she presses. Off camera, Mickey's voice cues a grim flashback. Arkady, the brilliant-turned-mad scientist who spawned 3 murderous duplicates of himself, until the law finally banned simultaneous twins. In hypersleep, Matthew drags the out-cold Mickey to the trash compactor, eyes cold and deadly. Mickey groans awake just in time to see Matthew heft him over the rim, heading for the broiler. Metal clangs, sparks fly. Mickey, blood pounding, snatches up a dumbbell and swings like a man possessed. They trade savage blows. Mickey's fingertips slip on the broiler handle and he begs Matthew to stop, voice cracking. Matthew snarls and hauls him back, until echoing footsteps slam down the corridor. Matthew curses, "crap," and drags Mickey away. just before anyone catches on. Timo, slick and sly, starts pushing drugs among the crew. Small doses at first, just enough to dull the edge of space paranoia, but Matthew catches wind of it and snaps. He storms into the mess hall, grabs Timo by the collar, and slams him toward the broiler like he's ready to cremate the dude himself. Mickey Barnes rushes in, shouting, "Hey, chill, bro!" But Matthew's wired. He grabs a metal rod, his eyes wild, practically frothing at the mouth as he tries to shove Timo in. Just before things go full furnace murder, Nasha bursts in with another crew member and yanks Matthew back. Tension so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. And for some reason, Nasha leaves with Matthew. Yep, back to her quarters. Later that night, Mickey Barnes gets an invite. Dinner with Kenneth Marshall. Fancy. Suspiciously fancy. Mickey shows up starving. And let's be real, starts demolishing the spread like he's never seen food before. Marshall raises a glass and shockingly offers something resembling an apology. "I may have been harsh," he says, "but I need strong people." Just when it's getting oddly cordial, Dorothy walks in. The mood shifts. Marshall toasts to her brilliance, then drops the creepy bomb. He wants her to be a baby machine to secure the future of humanity. Total record scratch. Dorothy slams her glass down and immediately shuts him down, pivoting the moment into a somber memorial. "Let's honor the ones we've lost," she says, "not breed replacements." But before the vibe can recover, Mickey Barnes suddenly starts vomiting all over the table. Everyone jumps back as Mickey collapses, convulsing. Marshall shouts for the med team, who reveal they secretly gave him growth hormones, a desperate experiment to ease his suffering. Except it didn't. It backfired hard. They try to sedate him, but nothing's working. Mickey's screams are unbearable. Marshall pulls out his gun, muttering, "It's mercy!" But Dorothy throws herself between them. "Touch him, and you'll regret it," she hisses. She takes Mickey back to her room. Lights dimmed, steam rising from a tiny cup, earth-grown tea. For a fleeting moment, things feel human. They sit close. A kiss almost happens. But Mickey suddenly hesitates. He sees Nash's face in his mind. He pulls away, murmurs something about needing sleep, and leaves. But back in the hallway, Nasha is waiting, and she's high out of her mind. Giggling, eyes glazed, she sees both Mickey and Matthew nearby and goes full chaos gremlin, scribbling 17 and 18 on their arms in marker, howling with laughter. Mickey freezes. Two versions. In the open, Dorothy walks in, sees them both. Her face turns to stone. "Protocol breach," she whispers, stepping back. But Nasha grabs her. Laughing, she says, "It's fine, we'll share. I'll take Matthew. You can have the OG. Dorothy, ever the rational one, makes a deal. Fine, we split them." But no one tells Marshall. Nasha, high and unpredictable, suddenly flips, aggressive, furious that anyone's trying to control the situation. Meanwhile, Mickey and Matthew explode into an argument. "You're a glitch," Matthew yells. "I'm the fixed version." It gets heated, fast. Matthew, fueled by rage, storms off, grabs a gun, and heads toward Kenneth Marshall, muttering, "It ends tonight." At that exact moment, Marshall's outside, giving a speech about some bizarre rock formation found near the trench. He's mid-monologue when a crew member screams, "Something's moving!" It's not a rock. It's a creature. Before the panic hits full tilt, Matthew raises his gun, aims at Marshall's head, finger tightening on the trigger. Bam! He's tackled just in time by another crew member. Chaos explodes as the alien flees and the crew chases it. Kenneth Marshall, adrenaline kicking in, locks eyes with Mickey Barnes. "You want redemption?" he barks. "Join the hunt." As chaos erupts in the corridor, Matthew sees his chance and lunges at Kenneth Marshall, intent on a deadly shot. But just as he raises the weapon, Marshall finally spots something no one believed possible. From the shattered rock wall, another creature, lean and clawed, hurls itself onto his back. Marshall yells for his people to open fire, and the crew unloads every weapon, tearing the beast apart in a gruesome spray of ice and blood. For a moment, silence falls. Marshall straightens, blood on his uniform, and glares at the stunned duplicates. "You two?" he snarls, voice echoing off the metal walls. "This breaks every rule." He snaps an order. "Arrest Mickey Barnes and Matthew, now. Lock them in the brig." Two guards grab their arms and haul them away, clanking chains cutting through the tension. In the gray, sputtering light of the cell, Mickey Barnes and Nasha trade wide-eyed looks. They piece together what just happened and realize those trench creatures saved Mickey's life. His chest tightens with awe. But before they can share their thoughts, Timo slips in, cold-eyed and sweating. He drops the bomb. Darius Blank wants a video of Mickey's execution as proof of expendable efficiency. Mickey's stomach twists, but Matthew and Nasha spring into action. They knock Timo and his flunky flat, sprint for the cell door, and with a well-aimed kick, burst free. Their taste of freedom is short-lived. 2 rows of armed guards ring them and slam the cells shut. A booming voice declares, "Sentence, execution." Mickey and Matthew exchange a quick nod, bracing for the worst as they shuffle toward the ramp. Outside, in the swirling snow, they pause. Dozens of the alien creatures, the ones who spared Mickey, now form a silent, circling army around the ship. A young crewman points, voice trembling. "Ever since they took the baby, it hasn't stopped crying." The alien cries echo like distant bells. Back inside, Red Hair stands over the captive infant, scalpel glinting. She yanks off its tail and drops it in a steaming pot. Kenneth Marshall storms in, furious. He jots a tally on Matthew's chin. Brand new code to mark him different. Then, with a cold grin, he wipes Matthew's memory chip clean, erasing key parts of his past. Nasha bursts forward, voice raw. "He's the one who found the second creature. He saved Mickey," she roars. Marshall waves her off coldly. "We need a war plan," he snaps. But Nasha plants her feet. "They don't want to fight unless we attack first." A scientist finally pipes up. "What if we talk to them?" Use a translator. Marshall sneers. "Preposterous." Just then, the baby creature, eyes wide, hisses at him, its tiny body trembling. Marshall's face blanches. He flips. "Tie it up! Throw it in the broiler," he orders. Shocked, Nasha dives forward, cradling the creature in her arms as it plummets, her screams cutting through the panic. A hidden crew member films the scene, shaking with fear. Marshall pulls out a compressed gas canister. "Deploy the toxin. Exterminate them all." His wife, receptionist, leans in, voice like ice. "Let's make it a game. Bring back 100 tails or die trying." She smirks. Guards shove Mickey and Matthew down the ramp into the howling blizzard. Just before the ship lifts off, a young scientist slips Mickey Barnes a small device. "In case," she whispers. They vanish into the night. Mickey and Matthew trudge across the snow until they find the tribal ring of ice fortresses. There, they meet the alien leader, a towering figure draped in frozen vines. Mickey holds out the translator, voice shaking. "Thank you for saving me. They plan to gas you all." The leader tilts his head and asks, in a low rumble, "Why did they kill Luco, one of our own children?" Matthew steps forward, cynicism etched on his face. "What if they kill more?" The leader's eyes flash. He emits a deafening high-frequency scream that rattles everyone's bones. "If they harm one more child, they will wipe out every human here." The sound cuts off like a switch. Silence. Mickey swallows hard. "We need to bring the baby back now." Back on the ship, Underboss argues to Kenneth Marshall. "You should lead negotiations, not that expendable." Marshall shrugs. "Fine," he growls, "but I'm not done here," and heads down to the ice camp, leaving receptionist in command. Under the pale moonlight, at the truce site, the leader lays out his terms. One duplicate must die. Marshall's eyes burn with rage. Inside, Nasha, breathing fast, grabs receptionist by the collar. "Return the child now," she snarls. The 2 women struggle. A knife flashes, cutting Marshall's hand. The baby's rope slips. Then Nasha snags it, flying out into the night, the small life cradled against her chest. Missiles threaten on the horizon as both armies brace, but in the nick of time, Nasha bursts onto the field, pressing the baby forward. The leader's furious horns subside as he gently takes his child back. He nods at Marshall. Only one may live. Without a word, Matthew steps forward, head bowed. He raises his hand. "I choose to stay." With a single shot, he falls. 6 months later, the Great Hall thrums with relief and gratitude. Mickey Barnes stands before both humans and aliens, sharing tales of peace and forgiveness. Yet, at night, he wakes drenched in sweat, haunted by visions of receptionist and Kenneth Marshall rising from the grave. The crew places a steady hand on his shoulder. He manages a tired smile. "We did it, for now," he whispers.